I gotta tell you, Americans are a deeply unserious and silly people. You know, with all the shit going on in the world today, the things we focus on kinda boggle the mind. They really do. Let's just look at a couple of things real quick. 21 is a new prospective age to buy a firearm in the United States because before 21, you're too simple, soft-headed, stupid, and untrustworthy to own one. The same people making that argument based on the idea that they want to stave off the next mass shootings, you know, the governments, the world heavyweight champions of mass shootings, will turn around and make a similar argument saying that 16-year-olds should be allowed to vote. Now, could that be because they believe that 16-year-olds are dumb enough to vote for them? Seems that way. Seems like it. It seems like if you can't get enough homegrown dummies, you import them or you lower the age to allow more dummies to vote and give them more power, right? Don't believe me? 21 is a new prospective age to buy a firearm, but at 15 years old, you can decide to have an addictomy surgery without parental consent. 21 is the new prospective age to buy a firearm, but at 17, you can be pressed into military service and forced to rush a machine gun nest with an assault rifle so that we can support the hegemony we have as a world reserve currency. Yeah, no, we're a deeply silly people. Very silly, very, very unserious people. Right now, we're teetering on World War III, right? We've got stagflation, we've got global supply chain issues, we have global food supply issues, we have all kinds of fucking issues. We've got Russia and Ukraine, and Russia has Europe over the barrel because they're not energy independent. So Europe can do nothing while Russia, the gas station attendant with a nuke, runs rampant and roughshod over Ukraine. We can do nothing about that, neither can Europe, and they won't. And now we're looking at China getting ready to do the same thing. Well, we've been busy offshoring our industry to China. Do you know how much of our antibiotics comes from China? Our precious PPE comes from China? Do you remember when the COVID crisis hit, when the Chinese ordered their ships with our PPE manufactured in China to be turned back to China? Do you remember that? Do you honestly think that if China decides it's going into Taiwan and we say no, they won't cut us off immediately? I mean, and at the same point in time, the president, the House Plant-in-Chief, is dumping our strategic oil reserves into the open market as we look down the barrel of World War III. Our strategic oil reserves. The oil reserves set aside for emergencies like, oh, I don't know, World War fucking III, so our military can function. People say, oh, our military could handle China. Yeah, it probably could. But let me ask you a question, just right off the bat. If I told you I'm going to fight you and I'm going to kill you, and you believe that, yep, that's going to happen, he's going to fucking kill me, right? And you have access to a firearm, are you going to pull that firearm to defend yourself? Probably would. I would, right? Do you think China would? Well, China doesn't have a firearm in the nightstand, they've got nukes. And if they think they can't beat us conventionally, same with Russia, they'll go for it. Because it's a survival thing. It's not a choice for them. It's a survival thing at that point. And we're busy like stoking the flames. We're busy trying to make sure it happens. Should Nancy Pelosi have gone to Taiwan? That wasn't the smartest thing to do. Should the Biden admin leak the fact that she was going? Probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. Should she be allowed to go? I mean, yeah, our diplomats shouldn't be told they can't go anywhere by the fucking Chinese. And I got news for you. You know, you think, you know, when the fourth turning does happen and China does take power, because it's gonna, because again, we're a deeply silly and unserious people, do you think they're going to be better taskmasters than the United States? You think they're going to be fair? I got news for you. China is a fucking authoritarian, militarized ethno-state favoring only the Han Chinese. You think they're going to give a fuck about your human rights or your civil rights or any of that? I don't know what planet you people are living on. We've systematically hacked away the roots of this country, militarily, culturally, spiritually, for years. And it doesn't take much to knock a tree over when it has no roots. That's where we are. So go back to donning your fucking Handmaid's Tale costumes and screeching about what drugs should be legalized. Go back to making up your fucking pronouns and stick your fucking head in the sand. You're probably going to want it there when the bright flash comes.